If you can come back, that'd be appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you. Senator Hughes.
Thank you, Chair. Minister, if we can just clarify a few points that were made earlier. With regards to the waiting list, has it increased or decreased over the past 12 months?
The waiting list has continued to decrease over the last 12 months.
Thank you. And if you could give me a comparison perhaps, or maybe just if you could let me know how much the government has invested perhaps since the last election.
Since the 18-19 budget, the government's invested $4.6 billion into new home care packages. Okay. So
at the last election campaign, we saw Labor commit to $387 billion worth of new taxes with a lovely focus on a retiree tax. How much of that $387 billion of new taxes did they commit to aged care? And in particular home care packages for that matter?
They made no commitments to mainstream residential aged care. They made no commitments to any new home care packages, and they made no commitments to workforce.
This is an estimate looking at the budget.
And so in regards to the recent budget in reply speech just a couple of weeks ago, what sort of commitment did the Labor Party make with regards to aged care? How many mentions did it make?
You're in government.
Just getting a bit of a comparison here. Thanks for that.
Thanks, Senator. The Labor Party made...
Just want to clarify a few points. Just because you say something doesn't make it true.
Responsibility.
Minister, if you wouldn't mind
Responsibility
answering.
with the election result.
The Labor Party in their budget reply made zero commitment to the aged care sector.
Sorry, Minister, what was that?
The aged care in their budget reply made zero commitment to the aged care sector.
Zero commitment, right, okay. And just wondering, when who introduced the national prioritisation system to ensure that we could see what sort of waiting list there was and to make sure that people that required prioritisation into home care receive those packages?
That was introduced by this government.
Right, and prior to being introduced by the government, what sort of transparency did we have with regards to waiting lists?
There was none.
None at all, really interesting. So we had no idea how long those waiting lists were or how long people were waiting.
7 years.
Isn't it wonderful though, in the advancements that have been made?
Desperation.
7 years.
Desperation.
Senator Polly. Senator Polly.
Point of order.
Senator Polly.
Yes, I wanted to take a point of order. If we're going to go back through history and talk about what happened since the last election, there's 10,000 older Australians have died on your watch.
Just previously, with regards to the fact that we are dealing with the aged care sector, and that we do acknowledge that there are deaths in this sector, that people in a certain age bracket, there is a mortality rate and frailty within that population. Is there any evidence to suggest that there's a significant higher rate of death within people that are over the age of 75, people passing away at a higher rate of people that are...
Of course there's a potential for them to die.
Please
Excuse me, would you mind?
Ask the question.
Gave you courtesy
Order.
of listening to the
Senator
absolute
Hughes.
furious rubbish
Order.
that was coming out earlier.
Senator Polly. Senator Polly. Senator Polly, please.
Mind giving me the courtesy of spelling.
Senator Hughes. Senator Hughes, order. Senator Polly. Senator Polly, please keep the temperature down. Senator Hughes, please ask your question. Let Senator Hughes ask her question, please. Thank you, Senator Hughes.
Thank you, Chair. Is there any evidence or any basis to suggest that any of these deaths can be attributed at all to waiting for home care packages, or is in fact that the data indicates that the rate of older people over the age of 75 are passing away is very similar, in fact, to those who are similar to those waiting for a home care package, is very similar to those in the general population of Australians?
Thanks, Senator. Look, I think the data aligns, but I would make the point, as I did to Senator Polly earlier, that I'm not satisfied that people are having to wait the period of time that they do for a home care package, and I'm not comfortable that people pass away while they're on the waiting list for a home care package, and that's why I maintain my determination and take every opportunity to advocate for additional capacity in the system to grow the system. I think there's a clear demand for Australians to be able to age at home if they can, and so I will continue to do that. I'm very comfortable with the demonstration that I've made since coming into the portfolio. 6,105 and then 23,000 packages, so close to 40,000 packages introduced since I came into the portfolio. The waiting lists have turned around since March last year. In that period of time, they continue to improve. My ambition is to continue to improve that, to meet the waiting list and to shorten the period of time that people have to wait. I think we all ought to aspire to that. And as I've said a couple of times, I'm very comfortable that I have the support of the Prime Minister in my efforts to do that, and the support of the government in that sense.
And I mean, we're true to assert as well that home care packages are not fundamentally designed to treat or prevent life-threatening illnesses. I mean, that would be what the healthcare system, I would imagine, is for.
Well, Senator, they are designed to provide support to people to live at home. It is true that those who have a home care package or anyone on the waiting list receiving a lower level package while they wait for their package at their designated level, or some level of support through CHSP, also retain access to Australia's very good health system, which is important. We don't leave people without any support, and to characterise it in that sense is not correct. But the aspiration to continue to grow and reform the system remains.
So if we can just turn our mind now with regards to the aged care sector itself and the additional home care packages that have been announced, and look at the jobs that are being created through those additional packages. How many jobs will the new home care announcements generate?
Well, the estimate that we have, Senator, is that the close to 30,000 packages that will come into the market this financial year will create in the order of 6,000 new jobs.
And since the 2018-2019 budget?
The ratio is quite similar. So all of those new packages will create additional workforce capacity. That's the conversation that I was having with Senator Polly earlier, that the growth of the sector and the rate of growth is important to ensure that it has the capacity to absorb that growth. And that's why the growth of 30,000 packages in the last financial year, which would have created a similar order of new jobs. I'm comfortable that the sector can absorb that level of continued growth over this current financial year.
Okay.
So, potentially with those 30,000 packages last year and this year, that's in the order of up to 12,000 jobs in a couple of years into that sector. And the market figures for employment demonstrate the growth of this sector. And as I said earlier, I would certainly advocate somebody who's looking for employment that's currently out of work, considering a caring career. It can be very satisfying.
Okay. Thank you very much, Minister. Thank you, Chair.